are you doing, everybody? This is Anthony Reeves, and I'm here to give you another little tip about something that could affect your Social Security case after you've received your benefits. As you know, the first two times we talked about warrants and child support. This time we're talking about workers' compensation. If you get injured in the workplace, you may find yourself entitled to workers' compensation benefits. What most people don't realize is under the Social Security Disability Program, the two programs offset one another. And what they mean by offset, that means it is very possible that receipt of benefits from workers' compensation will have an impact on your Social Security disability claim. And it's weird because basically what it is, and let me make sure I explain it to you in a way that it makes sense. They based on your average 80% of your average current earnings. So you figure it like this. If the combined benefits of your workers' comp benefits with your Social Security benefits together is greater than 80% of your average current earnings, they're going to probably reduce your Social Security disability benefits by that dollar amount. Now, I will tell you, if you find yourself being confused, you want to make sure you talk to either a very seasoned workers' comp attorney or a seasoned Social Security disability attorney, because this gets tricky. Follow me on this. Let's say, for instance, that your average monthly earnings was like $1,000 a month. Okay, so 80% of that would be $800. So that's the dollar amount you're looking at. So then what they look at is how much would you be getting in your workers' comp combined in your Social Security. Well, let's say that for your workers' comp, your monthly amount is like, $60 a month, but then your Social Security is like $500. Well, that $560 a month is less than the $800 that I gave you at the very beginning, so there wouldn't be an offset. Well, let's add it even better. Let's say your Social Security is like $700, and when you factor in your workers' comp, your monthly benefits going forward is like $100, or like $200. Well, that's $900 of your combined benefits, which is going to be over $800 of your average current earnings. So you'd have an offset of $100. That means that $100 is what they would use to reduce your monthly benefits. Now, follow me this, because a lot of times whenever I'm talking about this, it gets confusing. It's a weird beast. But this is how it usually plays out. Let's say you got hurt on the job, and because the injury was so bad, you're a workers' comp attorney, or you decided that you knew you wouldn't be able to go back to work. So you got two things going at the same time: your workers' comp claim, and you've got your Social Security claim. Now, let's say you settle your workers' comp case. You got to be careful, because certain things within that workers' comp settlement does not apply to Social Security. For instance, if a portion of that is your attorney fees, that's not included when calculating an offset. If a portion of those are your basically future medicals, one of these past medicals for sure, it doesn't cover that. There are certain aspects of it, and this is why, and I'll be honest, I haven't done it in a while. I have to check because those get really tricky. There are certain things that do not offset. So when calculating that dollar amount going forward, you got to be able to take certain things out of the equation. Now, I know that's still kind of confusing. Follow me a little bit more on this. What will usually happen when you get a settlement for workers' comp, it'll be a lump sum settlement. In that settlement, they create what's called a washout agreement that lets you know how much is it of attorney fees, how much of it is it in future medicals, how much it in past wages, how much of it is in future wages. And from that, Social Security can determine what aspects of it are going to be attributed towards your offset. Now, here's where it gets a little bit more tricky. When they're calculating your benefits, because this is the thing that's wild. You usually get a lump sum, and that's it. But for purposes of calculating Social Security, what they'll do is they'll look at your future wages, and they'll figure out if let's say they give you $100,000, and $100,000 of it goes to future wages. Well, they're going to look at your age. Say I'm 40. Well, the average life expectancy of a man is about 75. So what they would do is they would take $100,000, and they would take 35, the 35 years I have left remaining, and they say 35 times 12 give you a total number of months, and then divide that dollar amount by the number of months. And that dollar, and basically whatever that number of months is, that dollar amount divided by that number of months would let you know how much it would be if they paid you every month, as opposed to giving you one lump sum. And they use that dollar amount along with your monthly Social Security to determine your offset. I know this is confusing, and I'll be the first to tell you if after me explaining this it still sounds a little bit more confusing. Hit me up at my blog at legalbeat.anthonyreeves.com, or you can ask me a question at anthony@reevesfirm.com, because like I said, it's a little tricky. But just keep in mind that when it comes to workers' comp, don't sleep. It will affect your disability benefits. This I can almost guarantee you. So make sure that if you're not sure, take the opportunity, speak to one of the analysts at Social Security, speak to your attorney, whether it be workers' comp or Social Security, and trust me when I tell you, it's going to have an impact. And this is just another little thing that you need to be aware of so that you know that this may affect your Social Security disability benefits after you win.